Hello, everyone. Yes, we are live. It's been 6 weeks thereabout of not being here every Wednesday at 12. Oh my goodness. Trust me, something was off. It wasn't just, I remember being, I think the first camp was in Lagos and it was 12. I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go live. And I was like, no, you're supposed to be having a session here on camp. So, missed everybody. Thank you so much for coming back again to the show. I have a lot of gist for you guys. Oh my goodness, you don't want to know. I like to share real life experiences, right? You already know that. You already know that, right? I don't like to just share, what they said that I heard. I like to share with you exactly what I see on the field. Yes. So lots of gist from Lagos to Abuja to Port Harcourt to Asaba and then to a few other places here and there, camps and all that. The stories are a lot. You guys should just fasten your seatbelt and get ready. If you're not already following me or not sharing with people who have teenagers and preteens, you are not doing well. You are not doing well because when the problems or when the challenges come, then people just start saying, oh, haven't you heard, didn't you hear? This is the time for them to hear. So please help us share this video, share the pages, let parents come and listen. You already know by now, those of you that have been following for some time, thank you, by the way. You already know that I don't like to assume when it comes to teen parenting. I am a student as much as every one of us. I don't get into this space of not my child, can't be my child. Nope. Even my children know that I don't do that. So when something is being said, I jump in, I hop in, and take what is relevant for me at that time. And trust me, there is always something relevant for everyone. Hello, Glory. So good to see you here again. Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that today we're starting off with a not so nice topic. This was not what I wanted to start with. Like, I already had a plan of, the first 2, 3 weeks, how to come in or how to come back to the show and everything. But this had to come to the front burner. And because we are led by God, as sons of God, we have to always follow his leading. What this also means is that some people might be going through this struggle. And the thing about the issue of theft and stealing, it's quite shameful, not quite, it is actually very shameful when you hear that your children steal. I mean, many times you don't even know how to say it. The few parents or the cases I received because of my relationship with the parents. Because even when the parents are sending these messages to you, it's a struggle, and I really understand. Honestly, it's a big struggle. I'm not here to judge anyone. I'm not here to drag anyone. I'm just here to help. And I was preparing for today and I saw something that was for me. Yes. I saw something and I said to myself, note to self, take this for yourself. Don't you even think that I'm coming here to talk down on you. I'm not. I'm coming here to give you tools, to give you tips, and to, help you stay more aware. Because I would rather that you are preventing these issues than you are solving them. Honestly, it's cheaper, it's easier, it's faster, it's better. Okay, so let's go. Today, well, hello, Linda. So good to have you here, ma'am. We're talking about the rising rate of theft amongst girls. Now, I'm going to say amongst teens. I'm going to say, though most of the reports I have received came from the parents of girls. I don't know. Maybe the parents of boys just feel like, it's normal for a boy. Every young boy at one time or the other they steal. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the parents of boys really look at it as a problem. Maybe not. But when it's a girl, a girl parent will panic because I'm like, what? I have to go. So I know and I totally understand when girls start showing this kind of traits. I'm going to start with what I usually will start with. What is theft? What is stealing? And I'm going to make it as plain as possible because sometimes we try to quote these things, we try to cover it, we try to make it look, play down on it, maybe in a bid to live in denial. I don't know. But theft simply means taking what is not yours without permission. If you drop something here and your child takes it and uses it without your permission, that child has stolen. So, what this means is that children start stealing from home. The problem is that we don't call it stealing. Parents, am I lying? Am I lying? You say, what is my own is your own. That's not true. That's not true. You give your child, your teenager, money to get you something, they come back, they don't give you the change. From there, they use the change, buy something else, and you say, what is mine? Stop it, stop it. What is mine is yours. No, that child has stolen. You drop biscuits, like me that likes crackers. You always find crackers around me. When it disappears, when it is taken, I attack my children like they have taken my gold jewelry. I don't say it's just biscuit. No, it's not. You were hungry, so why did you take it? Did you ask? The fact that you did not ask, and children are funny. They take these things, you drop juice or drink or something in the fridge, they take it, finish it, and leave the container there. Please, who can relate? This is how it starts. And then you say, no, they're just children, and we did these things when we were small. What's that? Begin to raise an alarm. That's how it begins. So you just come, you just say, hey, people, I'm warning you, stop it now, stop it, stop it. Don't you have your own? And then you end there. You are breeding a thief. And guess what? Thieves are no longer, people that look haggard and tattered. We are now seeing corporate thieves. Yes, well dressed, beautiful, handsome, looking good, with all from stolen items. So please don't even take yourself and say, no, I provide for my child, I give them everything they want, they cannot dare. It's not true. I have seen people in Nigeria, I've seen people out of Nigeria, I've seen people on campuses, I get the reports every other week. Somebody is crying out that somebody has stolen something. And these things are from youth. Now, I saw a very scary statistics. When I started, before, when they say people steal, young people steal, I also used to take it casually. I mean, not my children. If my children, I'll bounce on you. Because I always thought that, it was just happening, at home, normal children stuff that we need to just make sure that they stop doing and all that. But then I started getting reports from parents. And I felt the pain. I felt their pain. I felt their embarrassment. I felt their frustration. I had to start doing a study about it. I found out that psychologists will call theft a psychological problem. Yes, it's a mental health problem. Let me say it as it is. Psychologists, right? It's me and you, or you people, because me have joined them now. Is the layman, the regular parent out there that will take stealing as just, it's just a bad habit. No, psychologists take it as a mental health problem. And I love that fact because it helps us get to the root. Until you get to the foundation, you can do nothing. Now, when you get to the foundation, you must rebuild that foundation to achieve something. Please take note of that. Now, a whooping 66% of adult stealing was traced back to adolescence and childhood. 66% of the professional thieves, people that you call, this person can really is a really professional, is a real thief. This person has graduated to armed robbery and all that. These people, 66% of them started it off as children and teenagers. And I'm wondering, so where were their parents? Where were the, aunties, uncles, family members, teachers? Where were all these people until this person continued stealing till he became a professional? Another study was done on children in secondary school, high school. 15% of them acknowledged, almost 16% actually, 15 point something percent. So that's almost 16 of them acknowledged and accepted the fact that they were already stealing. They were less than 15. In fact, around that age is where the rate hikes. So if you get 10 teenagers, 2 will probably be stealing. If you get 100, about 16 will be stealing. That is too much. That is too much. And I even think that this statistics is not even, people will usually not own up to these things. I'm very sure that if we really, really check, we'll have more than that. That is why people will have the guts to steal in church. Teenagers steal in church. If you can steal in school, you can steal at home, you can steal in the neighborhood, you're also stealing in church, then you know that it's a big deal. Now, the issue with stealing is that stealing usually starts off as a habit. Then it moves on to a vice. Then it moves on to an addiction. Then it becomes a way of life. And then you now say, oh, this person is a thief. Because I'm talking to parents, I'm going to share with you what the primary causes of this behavioral mental health problem is. When I talk to teenagers, like when I talk to my girls, by the way, if your girls are not in the girls' home, you better join us for 2024. We are kicking off registration on the 2nd. Yes. So when I talk to the girls, for example, in the girls' home, I say to them, I will start off by saying to them, the reason why some of you will steal is because you have long throats. You just want what is not you. That's the first reason I'll give to them. But talking to parents now, we need to go to the root. And the root of theft is trauma. Hey, I know you will not believe this, right? I know that parents will not believe what I'm saying because you feel like, oh, trauma has to be something that maybe when you were molested, when you were sexually abused, that's what causes trauma. Oh, when your parents were hitting you, that's what causes trauma. That's not only what causes trauma, please. That is not only what causes trauma. Oh, so many things cause trauma, especially in our days. I've come to realize that the 21st century kind of trauma is centered around things like my number one point: lack of attention. I know that when I see somebody be like, I beg, Aunty Etima, so because I did not, who attended to me? Because I did not give my child attention, is that a good enough reason? We even speak English. Is that a good enough reason why my daughter should go and be stealing? Yes, it is. Since you're asking me, let me answer you. Since you're asking me, let me answer you. Lack of attention is the number one cause of theft in a child. Now, this is it. A child would rather have negative attention than have no attention at all. Attention is a psychological need of every human being, worse in children. You think that you are working hard to provide things for your child. Your child is seeking experiences from you. They are two different things. Your child would rather have an experience with you, spend time with you, than have all the things you think you're making all the efforts to create or to provide. I'm not saying that providing things is bad. What I am saying is that please don't rob Peter to pay Paul and say you have done well. Doesn't make any sense. Recently, I've had to become very blunt with parents during my session, and I would say things like, Ma, you have just two choices. Sir, you have just two. I don't give you more than two. For example, you have a choice to return back from this country where you're living or lose your children. There is no third option. And until we start having only two options, this thing will not stop. I remember saying it to a mother, she cried her heart out. I said, I'm sorry, but this is it. There's no third option. The third option you're giving is a denial option. Quote me. This, you don't understand. Some cases are different. That's the choice you made. So that's why you should expect that this is how your child will turn out. If your child doesn't turn out that way, glory be to Jesus for having mercy upon you. It's an exceptional case. But if you think that, oh, because this person has been separated from their children for so long, and the children are, oh, if you see the way they are, very correct children, then you are deceiving yourself. Your child is different. Children handle these things in different ways. You say, is he the only child? Out of all my children, how come it's only this particular one that is behaving like this? That one is different. Personality differences. When I talk about giving attention to children, I'm not just talking about, parents that are far from their children. There are some parents that are around, but they are not around. Around, but not engaging. Around, but not involved. Fathers, again, I'm coming to you. When we hear the issue, look, for every single case of theft in a girl, a father is not involved. Trust me. I have the proof. I'm talking about myself. So now when you start telling me about your daughter stealing, the first thing I do is ask, where's her father? Where's her father? Because I grew up with I have just sisters. Stealing was not something that ever crossed my mind. When I was preparing for this class, I did a lot of reflection. I never, even begging. I don't know how to beg boy for money. My father did not provide everything that I wanted. But there was just this satisfaction I had having him around. I don't know how to link it. My father is not just someone, or rather, since as a child, my father was not just a father that pays school fees, my father was till date. He will have conversations, he will talk, he knows what is happening, he's following up, he knows my courses in school, he knows my lecturers, knows my friends, that thing brought a sense of satisfaction. I don't know, I can't explain it. If you check it, if you come from a family like mine, right, and you also didn't ever have the thought of stealing or anything, and one of your sisters was pilfering every now and then, check it, she'll be the child with the least attention from your father. I wish someone can prove me right. Because truly, if there's any sibling of yours that was tending towards that way, you will notice that that is the person least close to your dad, the person with the least attention. In my family, one of my sisters, was born at a time when my mom, was going to school, and it was a very shaky period. She was the one that got, I would say, the least attention from both my parents. She had to be attended to specially as an adult. She's very stable now. But that gap was there. Parents, stop joking with these things. Stop joking with these things. Some parents will be sarcastic. Oh, Aunty Etima, well done, no. We should leave the work we're doing and come and sit down and be looking at our children's faces. You would have to make that choice. Or you take what you see. I mean, we're going to stop quoting these things to say, let's see how it goes. You're going to just take what you see. When we say attention, we're not saying, come, okay, let's be looking at our face. Okay, talk, I'll talk. Let's talk, I'll listen. No, it's a relationship. Attention is the first fruit of a relationship. Attention. That is why when a man goes into a relationship with a girl, the first thing they do is, you know, they start to give each other attention. You have not said anything to me since morning. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm coming to see you. Attention. That's the first sign of a relationship. The first way the first way we know when teenagers are dating is the way this person is giving attention to this person. You notice when he's not around. You notice when she stood up. You notice what is doing her. You notice that is how we know. So it's not just sitting and looking at the person. Attention. Thank you so much, ma'am. Mrs. D says, leave cat on them. They will leave it, oh. They will leave it for you. So in your mind, your juice is still complete. They have taken it. Now, what's the second problem that we see as the cause of this theft in children, especially girls? Lack of communication. So some parents are around, but they are not speaking. Now, when a child does not know how to speak, they act. And the child learns to speak by hearing you speak, speaking to you. Communication is the act of speaking and listening. You see those two things, you cannot do without them. If your child, for example, wants something, now see, theft in children is a feedback. Please let me say it again. Theft in children is a feedback. Whenever a parent, and I do it, whenever a parent comes to complain that, oh, my child is stealing, the first thing I do is try to get that feedback that what is wrong somewhere. If your child is pilfering and stealing, your child is telling you that he or she does not know how to talk to you on this issue. Why? Your reaction is unpredictable. So if you ask a child, so why did you take these things? I knew that you tell me no. It means that in your responses, you don't communicate. Because you are Lord and Master, right? No. Mommy, why? My no is no. Final. How dare you question my authority? Hello? Hello? This is the problem. Your child does not understand why you say no, so they go behind your back and steal. I'm never afraid. I'm going back to my dad again. I'm never afraid to ask my dad anything because, even when he does not have, right? Because of how you've watched him, how you've related with him. When he's telling you they know, you are almost even giving him a hug. He's calm, he's responsive, he's empathic. He goes like, there's a way so tell me why I will steal. Is there any reason why I will steal? Don't tell me that I didn't see things I wanted that I couldn't afford. I sure did. Amongst my friends back then in school, I was not among the first two to get a phone. So this crave for phone, we all had it. My dad could not afford it. I never stole. I never collected anybody's own. Instead, oh God. Look, if we don't know how to communicate with our children will not learn how to communicate with us. And then you see them, they will steal something as small as 200 naira sweets. It's so painful though. These children, they will not put us inside trouble. They will steal something as tiny and as irrelevant. In our words, it's irrelevant. But to them, it's such a big deal. So they will still turn around. Then when you ask them, you say, Mommy, I knew that if I ask you, you will say no. That means they have not yet understood that taking sweets at this time is not just that I want to say no. It is not good for your tooth. It's not everything you see you take. They don't know why. So they feel like you are being wicked because you are not communicating. When your children lose speech, they steal. When they are not able to open their mouths and ask you for what they want, take it as a feedback that your relationship is shaking. If your children would rather ask strangers, rather take from others, take it that you have lost relationship with them. If they are afraid of hearing no from you, please take it as a feedback that your relationship is shaky. Okay, let's use ourselves as examples. If you ask your husband that, honey, please, I want you to change my car this year. I want 2023 Range Rover. I want range. You know your husband doesn't have that money. You know he's going to say, honey, now, please stop. Are you going to steal it? You're not going to steal it. You're going to just be like, okay, because your husband is going to, you already know why, and he's even going to tell you, honey, you know that, maybe you know he has the money. You say, honey, but you know we have this other project. Can we be done with that before we get to this car? Are you still going to steal? People steal because they are not sure of what to expect. A high level of uncertainty, a high level of insecurity can breed theft, especially in children. So stop complaining. This generation, everything you tell them, you have to explain. They are an understanding seeking generation. Go and study about Gen Z. They are not like us. No is no. Move. You start moving. No. This generation will query. Their query quotient is very high. Let them be. They need it for creativity and innovation. So don't shut them down and say, just because I said. And then many of us will just assume, my child is supposed to know now that it is not good to take what you cannot afford. What does that mean? Let's go to the third point, gratification. What is gratification? Gratification is when you want to seek pleasure and desires, when you want to gain pleasures and desires at all times or at any time. And you know the thing with this gratification, this particular point, our children learn it from us. We are the real models of this thing. Your children see you. I need a brand new iPhone 15 just came out. I need it. Bam, you've changed it with your money, but you've changed it immediately. I can't carry this bag again. I saw somebody holding it. Bam, you change it. Your child is seeing it. So they now understand that whatever you want, you get, and you get immediately. So they pick it up and take it that, look, whatever I want, I get it, whether I have it or not. The difference is that you have it, they don't. So they want to get it by all means. This is why you cannot tell me. This is why no parent here or watching live or watching replay can come and tell me that if you give your children everything they want, anytime they want it, and it is a sign of showing that you love them, you will not tell me that is that you are trying to be a good parent. That's why you are doing it. Dear parents, it is not wickedness. It is not even poverty. Please, can we stop this? Every time you're judging the things I could not afford as a child, I must give it to my child. Continue. This is, you are breeding a thief. I am sorry. Somebody will say, but me, I was given everything I wanted. I did not steal. I don't know about that. What I'm saying is that for these children in this generation, if you cannot get them to delay gratification, be careful. You're brewing someone that might steal. Might, I didn't say must or will. I said might. Because Jim Rohn would say that how you do one thing is how you do everything. If you cannot wait for when this juice is open for everybody in the house to take it, you will not be able to wait till it is time for you to buy um designer stuff in school. No, 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 you won't be able to wait. It's the same thing. You will not also be able to wait to have money to flex. You will not be able to wait to get your own phone. You won't be able to wait for anything, for any you won't be able to wait for anything. Teach these children to wait. You see all this, she's crying now, he's crying. It's okay. I remember the times when I'll tell my daughter will say, look, these other children, they're the same. They always want all manner of things. Some things that my children want sometimes, especially the girls. I'm like, where are you people from? Exactly. When my daughter comes, I want. Madam, this one, no. This one, not yet. This one, wait. There are different kinds of answers. She would squeeze face. She would do, nobody is dying. Nobody will die. Everybody will be okay. So guess what? After some time, she got used to it. Immediately you say no, this you cannot have. She'll just bounce back immediately. No more squeezing face for too long. Oh, mommy is not fair now. Mommy, stop now, mommy, and then that is it. Because she has already understood that you see this thing, and I always give myself as an example. Do you know how many things I want? Do you know how many things I crave? Brethren, you people know. Hey, I like baby girl lifestyle. Oh, don't mind that I used to do spirit coco. Let me say it very well now. I like to flange. I love cars. I love yacht. The girls in the girls' hub, they already know that Aunty Etima wants to go on yacht rides. I love private jet things. I love to stay on the 10th floor in a five-star hotel. I love gowns, designer gowns, beautiful gowns. I love shoes. Recently, I started to love bags. Me too. I love them. It's not like I cannot afford some of these things that I love, but I'm not going to get them right now. There is a time for everything. Most of us are still in our season of planting, of building. Yes, so I love all these things. But if you see me, the thing, no, no, no. You know, really likes Koko. She just shakada baka to kapa. She likes fire, fire. Eh, let it be known unto you people. I love these things. But I have come to a point where I realize that in life, you go according to your level, to your stage. The fact that you have it doesn't mean you can afford it. The fact that you have 20 million now, does it mean you can afford to fly first class? No, maybe no. Maybe no. The fact that you have it in your account does not mean how much is a designer bag? 1 million, 2 million. Let me just order from Chanel directly. Does not mean you can afford it. So you will wait until you can. If you can wait, why can't your child wait? The Gen Zs, they are always in a hurry. And we tease them with it. But we are the ones enabling them. Gen Z say all of them, they are always too hurry, 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 hurry. Exactly. So now that we know, may we also be aware of the fact that there is a downside of their hurriedness. And that downside is wanting to take, collect, collect. This is the reason why they are going not just into theft, into gambling, into internet fraud, money issues. This is just why. Now you see Gen Z, will kill or plan to kill another person for chukuli money. Chukuli money. How did it start? From childhood. When we're growing up, I have this distant, very distant relation that was growing up with almost at the same time. Every time he took something, every time he wanted something, his mom would say, "Oh, my only son, oh, my only child, oh, the only one I have on this earth, oh." Look, if you have an only child, only son, only daughter, only anything, I hope you know that you need to put your eye on that only one very well. You need to, because if you don't, you run into trouble with that your only. So I need us to be very careful. Like I was saying, she would continue, something, they are sharing things. Everybody else is waiting. She will find a way and pass the back and give her son. My son cannot stay hungry. Oh, you will have ulcer. Oh, my son cannot this one. Oh, this one will happen. Oh, my son cannot. Every time my son cannot, like Coach Wendy will say, my son cannot, anything. If I tell you how that child ended up, he ended up stealing heavier things, ended up being arrested, ended up it did not end well. And anytime I hear that he has done something, my mind goes back to childhood. When his mom, everybody else is waiting. Wait, let the visitors take first. Wait, let the person ill take first. Wait, let the no. Instead, give him my own. You cannot you cannot make your children, your children wait. Are they going to die? That is why children should fast. I remember the first time I declared a fast in the girls' hub. Hey, some girls said, Aunty Etima, it was as if my tummy was going to fall down. Oh, Aunty Etima this. Oh, Aunty Etima that. I say, you know what? Nobody is going to stop until, thank you, until it is time to break this fast. Even the 8 years old in our midst fasted. And the team you're being wicked. Don't worry, you understand what I'm talking about in future. That's why I say to us that you are not being wicked. You are not being poorish. It's not poverty that is making you deny your children of these things. I don't understand, and I always say it, why you are the Jehovah Jireh of your child's life. Why exactly? You buy things in cartons. It's not bad though. Does it mean that it should be finished the way it came? We have a rule in our house. This is for this. Once it's done, it's over. In fact, the point came when I had to buy 3 dozens of everything. This is your dozen, your dozen, your dozen. If you finish your own, thou art on thy own. But when you just put everything as it's finished, go and bring more. You will be shouting on the house, go and bring. Did I not tell you? Don't let it finish. Let some things finish. My children say, Mommy, the house is dry. It's all right. It will be wet in Jesus' name. Sometimes let the house just be dry. Tell them to wait. Today is 22nd. Today is 20th. The month ends on the 30th. Don't worry. When we go for monthly shopping, we'll get replacements. We will restock. Everybody will be all right. Let these children just learn to wait. Let them just learn how to wait. Your children are going to university. And by the way, if you have any child that has just finished secondary school, or you know anybody, please help us beg them not to send them to university now. These are the problems that we are seeing. Children that are not prepared, children that don't know how to put themselves together. We're seeing them whisk off to university at this tender age. Even if your child is already in first year, they can still join us for the RTA Skills Development and Gap Year Program. We're kicking off on the 10th. Please help us share. It's online and offline. So even if you're not here in Abuja, your children can still join us. When your child is in school, you give your child allowance. The child will blow it in 1 week and call you back and say, "How is school? Mommy, school is not fine. We are dying of hunger." I've not seen anybody that died of hunger. Me too, I was hungered in university. I did not die. I even schooled where I live. So my house to my school was about 13 minutes. And yet I'll be hungry in school. It's part of training. Because if the month has not ended, my father with all his love for you, you will wait till it is time. So for delayed gratification, do all you can to make sure you build. I am seeing too many undergraduates falling into the wrong hands, which is bringing me to the last point: regulation. Okay, now you're close to your child, you give attention, your relationship is good, you communicate well, you have helped them to delay gratification. There's one more thing that you need to watch out for. This is regulation. For some people, this is their only problem: the ability to control their behavior, the ability to control themselves, their actions, their thoughts, their outcomes. That one is left for them. Your child needs to learn how to do it. It is lack of this control that makes them just enter a supermarket and just go and take something. They don't know how to say look and pass. Look and pass. In our days, we did a lot of window shopping. If you try window shopping now for this generation, they will point at everything. Mommy, I want. Have you seen children that you take to the supermarket and they will start throwing tantrum? I thought it was only children until I met teenagers. Excuse me. They went to the supermarket, came to supermarket, departmental stores with their mom. They wanted this, they wanted that. The mom said no. They started throwing face. One started whining, started grumbling, what is all that? What exactly is all that? So your child does not know. So because of that, he now finds a way to get it into his big baggy jeans or what? What's that about? This is why you must stop explaining away. Someone said, window shopping, I will die. You will not die, ma. Before you go to the store, which is what I used to do before my children became this old. When they were younger, I would say to them, look, this is the list that we're going to the supermarket with. See the list here. This list. This is what we're going to buy. We're not buying any other thing. So when we go there and somebody's trying to point and look and maybe lift up something and show me, I'm giving you this eye like hello, they will just drop it back. We're all on the same page. We are all on the same page. Uncle Sars, I'm happy to see you here, sir. If you do not help your children regulate themselves, discipline themselves. See, sometimes theft is coming from a discipline. Let's just call it what it is. And this child needs to understand that you are being indisciplined. If me, as an adult, your mother, I go into a shop, I get the key of the car, and I drive it off, won't you be ashamed? Okay, what if you come? You think you're the only one that likes good things. I see this beautiful skincare product. Oh, so beautiful. I see this beautiful wig. I see shades. I told people I like good things. I see this beautiful gown. Oh my goodness. I squeeze it and I put it into my bag. My daughter, will you be okay? She said, Mommy, God forbid. Jesus, Mommy, how can you? Oh, really? So I can't, but you can? No, now. That's how I communicate with my children. They're as simple as that. So you want to do it, but I cannot do it. Let's all do it together. You're like, Mommy, no, no, no. I say, why exactly should I not take what is not mine? It's embarrassing now. You want to disgrace us. I say, so you should not disgrace me too and disgrace yourself. So sometimes these children need to reason. Regulation is a thing of the mind. That is why it hurts me when we are raising what my friend would call olefufus. We raise children that cannot think. If you can think, you will think. If you can think, you will not steal. Critical thinking is a life skill. Independent thinking is a life skill for children. Oh, Everything you think and calculate for them. Everything you think and calculate for them. Allow them. You say, oh really? So you don't want shame? So you'll be ashamed? And when they catch me, they'll bring me to your school and to your class. Oh, mommy, please stop. I don't like this. If you are joking, stop it. That is exactly how we feel when they bring back bad reports, courtesy of you. Let them think through their processes. Okay, so now this thing you took, there was a parent that told me some months ago. Her daughter stole. Her father beat. Wah, wah. You see this beating, hitting, kiniko, all the things that we do. It does not do jack. After the pain goes, your daughter will sit down and calculate how to be smarter next time so that she will not be caught. There was a girl that I was having a session with in one of the boot camps. I can't remember which one. And she was telling me about why she steals and how she steals. By the time I was done asking her questions, she began to realize that the things she was stealing, she had them and she could get them herself. She did not need to steal it. But what did I do? I got her to think. We even role played the same scenarios and asked her what she could have done. And she was like, hey, I didn't think of it. I said, there you go. The only way to regulate yourself is when you take charge of your mind. Please help me tell your children that. When you regulate yourself, it means you are directing yourself. See, to regulate is to drive yourself. Go left, turn right, stop, and move. That ability to do that is what will keep a child from stealing. Your child is stealing, you have not found out what the problem is. You are beating, you are hitting, you are threatening, you are shaming, you are attacking, you are dragging, binding, losing. What of thinking? Your child is stealing. Are you thinking? Is your child thinking? Is your child checking that, oh, what and how am I going to stop this thing? What am I going to do? How am I going to? Your child is not thinking about the repercussions, the consequences, nothing. Your child just remembers that the last time I stole, they beat me. So how is that child going to regulate himself when he's in a situation of theft? How? There are no words that child can even hold on to. Words are words are, it's a very effective tool you can use to help your child regulate. Regulation is an empowering tool for a child that is struggling with stealing. Help that child build regulation as a skill. Oh, this is happening. This is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to go. This is who I'm going to talk to. Set up a plan, set up a structure, which is what I'm saying. Now, if you ask me, okay, Aunty Etima, so what should we do now? What should we do in this whole, what should we just do? I will say to you, parents with knowledge. Parents with knowledge. You're here, you're learning, do more research. Go, and the 4 things I've mentioned: attention, communication, gratification, and regulation. Go and read more, get more knowledge, expand it, and then begin to practicalize it. For me, like I told you, out of the 4 points, I saw one I need to go and work on. We need to go and relearn that particular point. I will not share which one it is with you. But you want to come to the comment section and type which one you know you're going to go back and deal with. What to do is just to parent with knowledge, and the second thing would be to get accountability for your child. As you are working, get accountability. That is why the Girls Hub remains one of the greatest tools that any parent seeking to parent effectively would use in the 21st century. When any girl in the Girls Hub is reported to have stolen or to have done any bad habit or to engage in one bad thing or the other, she's dragged. Now they're used to it. Hey, Aunty Etima is coming for dragging. That's what a mentor is. That's what That's what a mentor is there for. She's there for dragging now. Yes, now. So you will be dragged, and in the dragging, you are borrowing sense from your mentor. You are borrowing sense. Because the mentor is not like a mom or a dad who is going to be using all the sentiment of you want to disgrace me. You are not disgracing me. It's yourself you are disgracing. That's how it sounds. They know. He is not me. He yourself. And it's not even your mommy or daddy. You are disgracing yourself. So tell me, by the time I finish asking questions, we know that we have a case at hand and we must deal with it. So please, parent with knowledge and get accountability for your children. Two things you need to do if you must ensure that none of your children steal. Parents with knowledge. Don't be like the average parent. My child has stolen. You throw a tantrum or you defend. You know, some of us will defend. It can never be. I did not give birth to a thief. Forget it. If your children come and confess to you the things that they have stolen from you, even you will not believe it. You know, parents, we don't like hearing those kind of things. If we all ask our children, including my own, have you ever stolen from your mom? Have you ever taken what is not yours without permission? Almost all our children will say yes. Should we do the practicals today? Some people will have an attack. That thing you thought that your house help or your gatesman or your driver took was your child that took it. You say, no, no, I know who I delivered. Every woman knows her child. Yes, story. It was your child. That defending is so annoying. Completely annoying. I don't know why we are defending what we don't know can happen or can happen. Don't defend any child, though. Just try this today like this. Go and ask your children. Have you ever taken something from me that you'll be shocked? You'll be hearing things that you did not even know you had. They have stolen it. They have taken it away from you. Somebody's having chest pain. When you're done with this exercise, come back to the drawing table, and start from the beginning. Start with closing those loopholes of attention, building your relationship with your children to the extent that even when you tell them no, they'll whistle away. Even when you tell them no, they will be happy to hear your no. Please, Madam Jenny has already said communication and regulation. Thank you so much. So you have communication, you have gratification, you have regulation. Go back home and work on these things. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to close with this note. Those of us that are just rushing, feeling like, oh, my child is smart, let the child just go, the child is going. If your child has a chronic case of theft, the child has to see a therapist. It's 100K session, 5 sessions minimum. In case you people don't understand. Unless you want a known certified professional thief. Unless so. I told you people, it's only two options. Only two I'm giving you. If you don't want that, then you will work on these things. You will work on these things. You will not assume that, no, my child is not among. You will go and you will begin to work on these things. For those of us that have older children, please check this regulation. For me, that was my highlight. For those of us with teenagers, full-blown teenagers, check regulation. Check it. For those of us with younger children, gratification, check it. And then, of course, every one of us needs to work on attention and communication to the extent that our children are safe, telling us what it is that they want to tell us. There's a little boy that stole something, and my daughter saw him. His mother came and said it's a lie, that her son does not steal, until the boy agreed that he actually stole it. These are the issues that we face. And honestly speaking, it's a problem. It's a big problem where, we are just insisting and denying that these things are possible right under our noses. I hate to deceive myself. Trust me, I hate it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Welcome Back edition. I can see Jenny. I can see Ella. I can see Mrs. D. She's a mom of my girls at the Girls Hub. Thank you so much, ma'am. Shout out to my girls. Thank you. On YouTube, I saw Mrs. Ikobayo, Mrs. Ifunwa. Thank you so much. Another mother of one of my girls at the Girls Hub. So my Girls Hub girls already know themselves. You are caught, you are dragged. You are reported, you are dragged. Registration opens. Hello, thank you, Madam Linda. I see you here too. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you, Z Chat. Thank you, Coach Roots. Thank you, Barbara Cindy. Hi, Barbara. Thank you so much. Thank you, Glory. Thank you, everyone. Please don't forget to tag your friends, your loved ones. Yeah, don't forget to tag everybody. Tell them about our tell them about the Girls Hub. Okay, the Girls Hub is for girls ages 6 to 8. Then we have ages 9 to 13. We have 14 to 18. We have undergraduates, and we have boarders. My daughters are boarders, but they are in the Girls Hub. We have their sessions during the holiday. Then, of course, the RTA gap year. You can join us from all across Nigeria and everywhere in the world. God bless you all and see you again this time next week. Have a blessed